Hello everyone and welcome to this incredible event, the MLB Power Pros 2008 Success Mode Character Tournament. Here, I am one of your commentators here, Alex, joined at the desk here by Cam and Jacob. And fellas, this is such a cool idea, and it is so cool to be on the desk here with you three to talk about these incredible players and to call one of the most unique tournament ideas I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. It is truly an honor to have not only put together this event, but to get to commentate and do a lot of the post-production work as well.
And thank you for inviting me too. I'm Cam, Kungfupandacam on the forums, if you remember me. And you really helped raise me, and I hope to give back in the community in my own way through this broadcast.
Absolutely. This is a good time for all here, so I'm going to hand it back over here to Jacob here. So this tournament had some very interesting rules. Again, we talked about this is a success mode tournament, but not so much in just who can make the best characters. Tell us a little bit about what this tournament's about.
Thank you so much. Once again, this is Jacobrmiller, formerly Jacobrmiller Drums on Discord. So let's break down these rules. Each team was assigned the challenge of creating a roster of 25 players. And with that caveat, each player had to numerically match a non-playable character from success mode. For example, a common player was Jonathan. So when making a Jonathan build, all of the stats of your success mode character had to match Jonathan's. Each creator could only make one player from one team. So for example, if I make a Belle from the Guava Strawberries, I can't make another Guava Strawberries character. We, as a panel of people, decided that blue abilities are fair game as they can happen randomly from story mode points. So the goal was really to match the numerical stats when creating the characters. And I will pass it over to Alex.
Alright, yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting tournament overall. A lot that's going to be going on here. It is going to be the same as the World Series format here, where one team will be home for games 1 and 2, and then 6 and 7. And then the other team will have home games for 3, 4, and 5 here. And again, we had a ton of different creators coming together, because I know each of us at the desk have made characters that are going to be playable in this tournament here. In fact, I mean, for me, I have Sleeve McDykel here for the Blank Supremes here, and this was my first time getting to be in any level of competition from this, and it was such an interesting idea here to come together, not just to build the best character, but to build a character that was that had the exact same stats, basically trying to fully emulate another one of the characters here, but still trying to then build up through the blue abilities. I thought that was such an interesting idea here on this, and I think a lot of people really took that to heart, because as you look up and down the rosters here for this, you can see clearly who these people are based off of, but what's really going to make the difference are the blue abilities.
That is true. And speaking kind of personally, that as someone who also made players for the Blank Supremes, which we'll get to see Bobson Dugnut as the starting catcher, shifting the mindset from trying to make the highest number stats possible and not really worrying about the blue abilities to switching to like match the numerical abilities and then really try and spec out through the blue became a very addicting format. I think I made like 6 players, and I don't know if we're going to get to see any more of the ones that I made, but personally, I really enjoyed it. So, Cam, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we have to thank Zero Gibson, the original person that made the MLB Power Pros World Series back in 2017. And we have to thank him for coming up with this idea of having these characters with set abilities, with set ratings, but also different abilities. And that's really where this tournament came from, based off of that idea, except I decided to make it based off of success players. Anything else to add?
I think that's a brilliant idea, getting to use these players that all of us have played success mode so many times here, so we've always thought about what would it look like if these players got together that we could never play as, right? Get together and see who is truly the best of the best here. And again, yeah, we saw a lot of Jonathans here. The other rule was that there was only one Super Sitch per team, because if everyone made a Super Sitch, then these games would just get bonkers, right? Here, One thing I want to ask you a little bit here, Cam, on this is that the blue abilities are obviously extremely important, and they're honestly the wild card between all these players, because that's what it really came down to. Everyone had limits to their numerical stats, but the blue abilities are what truly are going to define these different players here. So can you tell me a little bit about how these blue abilities affect players here, just in like kind of a short way? You don't need to go into full detail on it.
Yes, thank you. Blue abilities in this game really affect momentum, really, I would say. Once a hit comes in, then you have hot hitter, then you have good back-to-back hitter. You have all these abilities that stack with each other. And when these abilities stack, that's when we really get to see a lot of runs being scored. And that's really the major thing about these blue abilities, is how they stack, how they make bad situations okay, or even sometimes in bad situations dire for the opposing team.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very, very interesting contest to see. As now, let's take a look at the lineup here for Game 1. We have the team, it's like the matchup between the Blank Supremes and the Fresno Flyers here. So, do you mind if I take care of the lineups here for this?
Go ahead.
All right. So for the away team, the Blank Supremes here, leading off will be the center fielder in Kevin Nogilny, followed up by the second baseman Steve Dork. Then Tank Dagwell bats third as a designated hitter. Your catcher, Bobson Dugna, bats in the cleanup position, followed up by Tim Sandael over in right field. Sean Furcati is the shortstop here, followed by Sleeve McDykel over at third. Willie Dustis is at left field batting eighth, and rounding out the starting nine is Rexford Vickford. And they will also have their super sitch in a Daryl Archideld as the starting pitcher here, will be the shortstop for this team on the days that he is not pitching. Again, one of the cool things about success mode is that you can have two-way players if you so choose, and with super sitch, why wouldn't you? For the home team Fresno Flyers, they'll be leading off with the catcher in Skip Marlowe. Then it's going to be Jonathan Diamond in center field. Van Hecken is the left fielder batting third, followed by Winnie Pooh over at third base. Terry Triples bats fifth over at first, followed up by Christian Yates, the second baseman. A.A. Ron II is the designated hitter, followed up by Xavier Owens out in right field. And Corky Trask rounds out the starting nine over at shortstop. And they will have the brother of Christian Yates and Tyler Yates as their super sitch pitcher, as he will take the mound for Game 1. So an interesting matchup so far we have here. A lot of Jonathans that we're seeing here. Both super sitches are on the bump here, but in later games we're going to see them out in the field. If I remember correctly through my prep for this, Daryl Archideld here is going to be the shortstop here for the Blank Supremes, and Tyler Yates will be the second baseman for the Flyers, with his brother Christian Yates moving out over to right field.
Yes, that is true. And, these players, baseball super sits, are really the best hitters in the game. They have A power, something you don't really get in success mode, with a B contact. And also, as a pitcher, super sits is nasty. He has a 99 top speed. That's the highest on these success players. He has a 155 control, which is one away from A, which is the highest you'll get, and 149 stamina, which is also one away from A. So we have got a lot of good. We'll have a really good matchup here with the pitching wise.
And to clarify what we mean by super sitch, because we've thrown this term around, super sitch refers to, spoiler alerts for the story mode, but if you're watching this, I have a slight feeling that you know about the story.
Yeah.
Super Sitch refers to the moment when Sitch leaves the Golden Apples in story mode and goes to join the Galaxy Sharks. It's a very pivotal moment. And from leaving the Golden Apples and joining the Galaxy Sharks, that's where he gets this huge bump in stats and becomes from friend to foe. So I think without further ado, let's play baseball.
I think that's exactly it, and we'll head it now ready for first pitch here from Rainbow Beach Stadium. All right, we are ready to get started here. In the top half of the first inning, Yates, first pitch on the way, taken for a ball to Kevin Nogilny. Next on the way, it's the knuckle that gets it high. 1-1 now the count. Next on the way, misses inside on the good job. The pitch, it's like the creative pitch. And now misses again on the circle change. So right now, already an interesting at bat on the first one, as now we get to a full count, 3-2.
Nogilny has table setter.
And Nogilny strikes out here, and that's the first out of the game. As now that'll bring up Steve Dork. Next on the way, starts with a circle change that finds the zone. 1-1. One out here, now a deep drive to right field, Xavier Owens. He runs in, he's there, and he makes the grab for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the DH and take Dagwell.
Dagwell also has table setter, so he will have increased contact and power in this at bat.
His next pitch misses low, 1-1 evens out the count. Here, the table setter ability, hopefully getting something going for them as the good job finds its way for a strike, 1-2. And now taken, strike three, looking a 1-2-3 inning here for the Fresno Flyers as the Blake Supremes go down without much of a fight, going to the bottom half of the first inning. It is still 0 for the Supremes and the Fresno Flyers coming up.
You know, they say that you miss all the shots that you don't take, and I think from that first inning we're seeing a lot of missing.
I think you're exactly right here, as now we'll see Skip Marlowe coming up here to hit for off against Daryl Archideld as the first pitch swung on and missed off the salt shake. His special creative pitch. Now the 0-1 on the way. Misses high, another salt shake. We're going to see him probably relying on that pitch a lot. It's one thing that makes it truly unique, as now we have a ground ball foul to the right side taken by the first baseman, Vic Boone. 1-2 now the count. Bottom half of the first inning, no score, as the next pitch swung on and missed on the high fastball. And this inning starting out just like the last one did with a strikeout, as that'll bring up the center fielder and gone into Diamond. First pitch, a fastball finds the zone. Go ahead, Fair. Knuckle.
Diamond has the table setter ability here, so we might see some getting on base.
Salt shake swung on and missed. 1-2 now the count here. Bottom half of the first. Next pitch swung on and missed off the knuckle. And that's 2 straight strikeouts here for Daryl Archideld, as now will face off against left fielder Van Hecken. Van Hecken, first pitch taken for a strike. Top part goes to 0-1. So far, not a lot of offense. Now a high pop-up, but playable as Bobson Dugnut in the right-handed hitter's batter's box is there, and he makes the catch for the third out. So 1-2-3 go the Flyers. We head to the top half of the second. No score, no hits, no errors. So now Bobson Dugnut, who made the final out in the last inning, comes up here to start this one as the fastball's taken for a strike, 0-1. We knew that this was going to be a pitcher's duel, but so far it's living up to be exactly that, as the next pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 now the count.
And Yates and Dugnut are in a battle here with Tough Out and Dr. K.
As now Boston Dugnut grounds out to the shortstop, makes it an easy money 6-3 ground out. Now bring up Tim Sandael. Sandael, the right fielder, first pitch, the two-seamer. Misses for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Next on the way, circle change, tries it high, gets the call, 1-1. Only a couple balls even been put into play as the next pitch swung on and missed. Going for another strikeout and gets it! That is the third strikeout now for Tyler Yates, as I'll bring up the shortstop in Sean Furcati. As Furcati fouls off the first one, count goes to 0-1, while the first actual ball's even hit at this point, as now he hits a drive in right center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Finds its way through the gap. Xavier Owens gets it as he rounds first, heads for second for Cotty with a 2-out double and the first hit of the ball game.
And this could be huge. That will set up clutch hit whatever this next batter has.
And that's going to be for Slave McDykel, the third baseman, going with the one-handed batting stance. Here, a very bold strategy as the first pitch on the way, a circle change, gets the top part of the zone, 0-1.
And McDykel has clutch hit 5 here, so we'll see what he can do.
Swings and misses on the good job, 0-2. The next pitch misses on the fastball, but more of a waste there. That one, a circle change, gets into the dirt, evens up the count. Runner on second base, the count is now full with 2 outs. Payoff on the way. A dream drive into left, and that's going to be right there for Van Hecken as he makes the play for the third and final out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. Headed to the bottom half of the second inning. No score here from Rainbow Beach Stadium. As now Willie DePoo comes in here to face off against Daryl Archideld, who has struck out 2 so far. The first pitch, the salt shake, misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Next on the way, two-seamer. Finds the zone, 1-1, levels it out once more as the next pitch swung on and missed. Another two-seamer, 1-2. Right now, Archideld is in the driver's seat. Now it's a ground ball in the infield, taken by Furcati. He has it, throws over to first in time for the easy money ground out. So that is another 6-3 ground out, and that'll bring up Terry and triples the first baseman.
We are seeing a lot of defensive plays happening here. This seems to be more a battle of the defense than the offense.
Absolutely. As right now, the pitching has been immaculate and the defense has been playing strong. As now we have a drive in left field. That's going to go for a base hit there. Playing back. Dustis now rounding first, heading for second. The throw into second base is not in time. That is a one-out double for Terry Triples. Is one base away from living up to the name. As now the next pitch, a high pop-out, goes foul right behind home plate to Christian Yates, the second baseman. Now the next on the way. Fouls out, goes off of the head of the catcher. Bob's Dugnet. Looks like he's okay. 0-2. Another ground ball in the infield for Cotty. Looks down the runner, throws back over to first. In time, it beats out the head first slide. Another 6-3 ground out. And that'll bring up A.A. Ron the second. It's the first pitch of Salt Shake, taken for a strike, 0-1. Runner on second in scoring position to activate the clutch hitting ability, but it swings and misses on the knuckleball.
A.A. Ron does not have clutch hit.
He does not have clutch pin. It shows right there as he swings and misses for strike 3. So just like in the top half of the second, no runs on one hit, no outs, no errors, and one man left on. Heading to the third, no score here in sunny Rainbow Beach Stadium. It's Willie Dustis gets his first chance here against Tyler Yates, who has been dominant so far. Circle change finds the zone. Count goes to 0-1. So far, 3 strikeouts here for Yates as the next pitch swung on and missed and make it 4 strikeouts. As that's another strikeout here for Dustis. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the first baseman in Wexford Vickford. As the first pitch misses for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Next on the way. Having a little trouble with the good job there. Goes to 2-0. Swung and misses, slows things down with the knuckler. As that knuckle has been effective so far. Swung and missed fastball, 2-2, now the count. Now a drive into right field as Xavier Owens is there and he makes the grab off the line drive. Now we flip the lineup back to the top with Kevin Nogilny. Change it, taken low for a ball. And up with the 2-seamer, 1-1. And right now, this has been a big battle of the pitching staff here. Both of them have looked absolutely dominant, which I think we all kind of expected. As now he misses on the good job there, 2-2.
Yes, and we have Tough Out and Dr. K fighting over.
And right now, Dr. K comes up stronger as that is going to be another 1-2-3 inning here for the Supremes as Tyler Yates gets another couple of strikeouts. Heading now to the bottom half of the third. Nothing doing. Still 0-0. As Xavier Owens now comes up for his first try here against Daryl Archideld. As the first pitch for the sidearmer, the knuckleballer finds the zone. Count goes to 0-1. Swung on and miss. And when you have that fastball and knuckle combo, especially with your signature pitches, that has to be a devastating combo to try to work around here. It's 1-2 the count. The next on the way, misses on the salt shake, 2-2.
Yes, and the second knuckleball makes it more likely for knuckleballs to be thrown in general.
Definitely, as the next pitch is fouled off to the left side, keeps the count 2-2. Next on the way, misses on a fastball. That one only coming in at 89 here. Count is full. Next on the way, ground ball in the infield for Cotty. Has it again. Over the first easy money ground ball for another 6-3 ground out. Has the third so far for the team.
We're really seeing a lot of high and fast fastballs. He's really trying to get them to chase up in the higher part of the zone here, but sometimes they fall for it, sometimes they don't.
And it's very dangerous if you don't put it up a little too high. That pitch can find its way into the pool in center field. As now the next pitch on dive into center field, but right there is Kevin Nogilny. He is there for the out, and that's 2 outs here. They'll flip the lineup card back over to Skip Marlowe, who struck out his last time up. First pitch on the way is a strike on the salt shake. Count goes to 0-1. Still only 1 hit for both sides through one time through the order. So again, this is going to be a defense-heavy game as the next pitch ground ball in the infield as Dork has it, throws over to first in time for the out. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Heading to the fourth, I now hand it over here to Jacob for the play-by-play.
First pitch, high up with a knuckleball at 71 miles per hour. We're seeing the good job here, really trying to get him up on these high pitches here. Finally is able to locate the zone in here. And we have contact. G Diamond's going to get the ball. He's going to throw it in and hold the runner at first. Tank Dagwell now up to bat for the DH. Takes strike one right down the middle. The pitch. We were off to the races, and he beats out the throw.
That will activate Tank Dugwell's clutch hit 5.
Tank Dagwell being very careful with what pitches. I take it back. He did not put the H in DH on that plate appearance. Bobson Dugnut up to bat.
Doing a great job of mixing up his pitches and mixing speeds here.
He gets him low. Wild pitch.
First time we see a runner now over on at third base. Sacrifice fly could break the scoreless tie.
This is a big thing, especially for Battler, which will be disaffected if he does not get the out here.
He takes a big cut, but unfortunately he cannot make contact. Tim Sandale is up to bat now. He has a huge chance to finally break the 0-0 tie that we've been seeing. The pitch. Gets him low on a circle changeup.
1-2 the count. Same count he struck out in back in the second.
That circle changeup is very deceptive, as we see here. Batters are just swinging at it. They can't seem to locate it.
That may be helped by his good delivery ability.
Absolutely. And
I would
struck
believe
out the
that.
side on that one, too.
Up to bat, we have Jonathan Diamond. The pitch. Gets him low with the knuckle.
Struck out
He's
his
really
last
firing
time.
these pitches in here. Another knuckler. Let's see. That is going to be a hit. Willie Dustis is going to retrieve that and throw it in. Can they get Diamond out? They cannot. The throw was not in time.
When you're down 0-2,
Van
and
Hecken
you
up to
line
bat.
one into left center field like that, that's great ability for the batter.
Seeing some great filth with the salt shake. That's going. It's going. Willie Dustis is going to catch it for a routine fly, and he's going to hold Jonathan there at second base. Winnie DePoo is up to bat. We have a runner on second. This can potentially be dangerous for Archideld, but I believe he's going to keep it under control. He gets it, throws 2 salt shakes in a row. The count is 0-2. The pitch tries to get him with a knuckler down and low here. He's going to do a foul tip here. Winnie DePoo makes contact, but Kevin O'Gilney is able to catch the ball and keep Diamond at second base.
Diamond
Man, if I'm
went
Diamond-
really far on that one. He almost got thrown out back at second base on that from a great throw by No Gilman.
Takes a big cut there on the salt shake. The pitch.
Triples does have tough out here.
He also recorded first out of the
Pitch.
ball game. First base hit.
That is going to be a pop-up to Schoen. Wait, what?
It was a bouncer. It was a high bouncer. Hit off the ground first. That's another base hit. He's 2 for 2 on the day.
The H2 is in a great opportunity here with clutch at 5.
It's in the corner.
The pitch. He's really trying to paint him on the corners here. And if I was in Archideld's position, I would do the same. This is a very dangerous hitter and a very dangerous position to be in. So trying to like paint those corners. And he gets him for the strikeout.
What a huge strikeout there for Yates. Excuse me, for Archideld here against Yates here. This is the first time we've seen 2 runners on base here, and that if there was not one big out there, that could have been dangerous here for the Supremes.
Precisely. Sean Furcott up to bat. Ambushes. First pitch he sees, it's going, gone. That weak ball got what it deserved.
Furcott now 2 hits, 2 extra base hits. He is putting a lot of power here as the Blake Supremes taking now an early 1-0 lead. And with how this game's been going, 1 run might be enough to do it. As we're here in the 5th, we finally see a little bit of offense.
Not just that, this activates Yates' battler ability, which will mean he will lose stamina and control more quickly to Intimidator.
This could be favorable for the Blank Supremes as a dominant pitcher is now going to be in the game a little less. Throws 3 balls in a row. It seems he was pretty shaken up by that home run ambush. Throws a good job in there for his first strike. Gets another strike with a 4-seam fastball. Full count. McDykel is going to be caught looking. Willie Dust is up to bat. He struck out in his last plate appearance.
That's great. That's great command and great poise there by Tyler Yates after getting with the home run to get a strikeout.
I mean, when you throw a pitch to a batter, you don't expect your first pitch to get turned into a home run. So to keep your poise in that situation especially.
And maybe helped by his poise for ability.
Rexford Vickford up to bat. He takes a good job right on the bottom corner. The pitch. Yates trying to locate another pitch in that bottom corner. Another good job. High up for the strike. Vicksford is going to get a piece of it, but unfortunately, it's a small piece. Moving on to the bottom of the fifth.
Finally, the scoreless tie is broken. Whereas now the Fresno Flyers may have to try and figure out something here so they're not playing from behind the whole way through.
Ron up to bat. Duke Archidel trying to throw a deceptive two-seamer there. And the four-seamer, if he just brings it down a little bit, I think he could have got the strike there. Throws a two-seamer right down the middle. The Fresno Flyers are really trying to watch these pitches. Takes a small cut. Is not able to locate it for strike two. The final pitch. Full count. Let's see what happens. And he gets him with the salt shake.
2 straight strikeouts here against Aaron the second.
Xavier Owens up to bat. Xavier Owens is going to make contact shallow in the gap. Willie Dustis will field the ball and get it into Schoen for caught. Batter on first. Archidel's really got to be careful here. They only have a 1-run lead, so a big hit could really flip the tide on this game. An incredible catch by Schoen for caught with the leap.
That's a big play there by Furcott. Here, making his name known in this game.
Skip Marlowe holding his bat up, I believe attempting to call his shot, but we will see what happens. Gets a shallow hit. It is caught, and that is the end of the fifth inning. The score is still 1-0. Blank Supremes are holding their lead over the Fresno Flyers. Kevin Nogilny up to bat. He struck out in his last 2 plate appearances. So let's see if he can change that. Strike one. Takes a big cut on strike two with a knuckler. Has a good eye for the third pitch. And he gets caught looking.
That is the 10th strikeout now by Tyler Yates in this game. He has been a dominant force.
This time might be helped by his Dr. K ability.
Steve Dork is now up to bat. Foul tip. And he gets the strikeout. Tank Dagwell has also struck out in his past 2 plate appearances.
He celebrated getting double-digit strikeouts by getting another strikeout.
The throw to first, and with a run speed of 3, the throw had a lot of time.
Had a lot of time to get that throw in.
Had a lot of time to get that in there. Jonathan Diamond up to bat. He kind of broke the hitting streak for the Fresno Flyers in his second or first plate appearance. First strike.
And that will give him hot hitter here.
Trying to get a salt shake low strike there, but it appears like it hit the dirt. Popped up. Bobson Dugnut will not be able to retrieve it as it hits the net first. The pitch. Tries to get him again with these low and high pitches. Archidel really specializes in getting hitters to chase in these situations. We have a full count here. The pitch. Grounder. McDykel, the throw to Vickford, and that will get the out.
Great play by Steve McDykel there, being able to backhand that and still make a strong throw over to first to get the center fielder.
Van Hecken up to bat. Archidel is appearing to show some signs of strain or tiredness here. I think we might be getting close to seeing one of the many relievers for the Blank Supremes come out.
Well, the 5 relievers, not many.
This is true.
That is going to be a grounder to Furcott. Thrown to Vickford. Makes the catch. Winnie DePoo up to bat. Currently batting 0-2 in this game. Takes a big cut on that salt shake.
The
pitch. Hits a big foul ball. The throw. Another one. Archidel's got to be really careful here. We've been seeing these foul balls really carry. So one mislocated pitch and it could create another tie.
Maybe trying to get him chase here.
A pop-up. Willie Dustis is going to get there and make the catch. All right, now I'm going to pass it over to Cam for these final 3 innings.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, I think it goes back to me.
Yeah, it goes back to Alex, actually.
This is the first I've heard of it.
No worries. We'll take here as now the first pitch on the way to Bobson Dugnut, taking for a ball, and now follows that right now with another strike here. Tyler Yates now in the 7th inning of work as the next pitch is fouled off. 1-2. Dugnut 0 for 2 on the day. Next pitch, the good job, misses for ball 2, 2-2 the count now. As next pitch hits a ground ball right back up the middle, taken by Yates, an easy 1-3 ground out. As that will bring the right fielder in Tim Sendayel. First pitch on the way, a high pop-up, foul territory, but Willie DePoo is there for the grab, and now 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Now we're starting to finally see some signs of fatigue from Tyler Yates as the first pitch swung on and missed 0-1. Takes the next fastball, levels up the count.
He's really trying to paint these corners here.
So,
You see a high foul ball here.
2-2 the count, 2 outs. Next on the way, misses on the good job, count is full. Here we go, nowhere left put on the scoreboard. He swings and misses for strike 3. Another strikeout there for Tyler Yates. Has only had 1 blemish, but with how things have been going, that might be all that it takes to give the Black Supremes the lead. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Time to stretch your legs, everyone. It is the 7th inning stretch. The score is 1-0 in favor of the Supremes.
Man, the 2-strike approach that the Supremes are showing is providing questionable results, I would say. I mean, the 1 home run that made it 1-0 that came from the first pitch. I'm not really sure what's going on in the heads of these players, but with a 2 count, they're taking big cuts and hitting nothing.
It's quite odd, as many of them have tough out, which would make them more susceptible to hitting the ball, not...
Absolutely here now. So now, bottom half of the 7th is Terry Triples. Will lead things off here as he's 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Now the salt shake swings and misses here, as this may be the last batter we see for Archideld. As the next pitch taken for a ball, that fastball only coming in the mid-80s. He's definitely looking tired, but on the next pitch, swung on and missed on the knuckle. And it looks like that's going to do it. Here, as now Grukok comes up here to pitch here for the Supremes.
Grukok only has 2 pitches, his fastball and his palm ball.
And I believe he is based off of Wall.
Yes.
From the Aegis.
All right, so now we're going to see Grukok coming up here against Christian Yates. First pitch hits the Adderall, misses for 1. The next on the way, another Adderall. Misses it for 2-0 now the count. Now grab up the middle there. That's going to find its way. A needle thread seeing eye single for a base hit. First base hit on the day for Christian Yates.
And this is going to be a big test to see if that 86 top speed can be viable.
There we go. Next, we had a pinch runner. Didn't see who that was. As the next pitch on the way.
Watkins.
Next on the way. 1-1. Say it again.
It was Watkins, Mike Watkins, I think.
Watkins. As next pitch, a deep drive. Right field, going back to the yellow. He's there. He makes the catch. Almost a big shot there for Aaron the second. As now that'll bring up here Xavier Owens with 2 outs. Next pitch on the way. Taking for a strike. Next on the way. 1-1. Now levels out the count. Here we go. Next pitch swung on and missed on the Adderall. 1-2. Ground ball foul goes behind home plate. 1-2. Taken for strike 3, and that will end the inning here. As Courtney Trask here strikes out, but no more runs off of 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Heading to the 8th. Still 1-0. Now we got a new pitcher here for the Blank Supremes. Here as Piglet will come into pitch. Going over to second base is Watkins. Actually, going to second base is Diamond, and Diamond is moving over. Junkins is going over to second.
Huge defensive switch here.
Definitely an interesting one here, as now we have Sleeve McDykel coming up. The first pitch on the way from Piglet misses for ball one on the splitter. Now goes to 1-0. Now the honey pot hit into deep left field. Van Hecken's there, and he makes the grab.
Willie Dustis up to bat.
Now the first pitch on the way to Dustis. Misses on the knuckle curve. Count goes to 1-0. The next pitch fouls it off. 1-1.
All right, two-strike approach. Let's see if the Supremes can show some added batting intelligence.
Let's see if he works his way to a full count. 3-2. All right, the next pitch, another high drive into deep right center field.
That's going to the gap.
He's there, but he can't make the grab. It's going to go all the way to the wall. As Dustis,
he's going for
He's going for third, and he is safe in there with a triple.
The throw was not in time. What an incredible hit.
Beautiful hit there by Willie Dustis, as now we have Bickford, the first baseman. Grounds, this one might be enough for a run, but it is going to be enough for a run as they'll take the out at first base, and that is a ground ball RBI here for Bickford. It's now 2-0. It's the honeypot taking for a strike. We flip the lineup card back over to Kevin Nogilny. So now 1-2 the count. Next misses for ball 2-2 the count now. Next on the way, a high drive into center field, but right there is Watkins, the new center fielder. He's there and makes the grab for the third and final out, but one run does come across off of the big triple by Willie Dustis and the ground ball sacrificed by Bickford. We head now to the bottom of the 8th. It is now 2-0 Blank Supremes, and that's going to bring up Skip Marlowe to the dish. It's the first pitch taken for a strike as the count goes to 0-1. Bottom half of the 8th inning, next pitch swung on miss on the Adderall. 0-2. Next on the way, ground ball. A diving everybody for cut. He has it, but not going to be able to make a throw in time. That's going to be an infield base hit for the catcher, Skip Marlowe.
I think that was a really smart decision to hold on to the ball there. You know, after you make a dive and catch, you don't want to rush that throw.
Wait a second, Sue. That was Corky Trask, not
Yes,
Marlowe there. My apologies there. As now we have stolen base here as Skip Marlowe's at the dish, but that was Corky Trask that got the base hit. And now he's on
is in a tough position here.
Marley here does have clutch at 5. And rally hitter.
Now he hits a drive into right center field. That's going to drop for an extra base hit. Rounding third, heading for home now is Trask. And now heading for third is Marlowe. The throw to the plate. The third is not in time. Another triple. Another triple for Skip Marlowe. And now it's a 2-1 game. First pitch on the Adderall over to Diamond. Excuse me, no, I believe this is is this still Diamond?
This is...
Oh, where it is a strikeout.
Looking.
Yeah, trying to look at
Van
Van Hecken comes up to the dish here. It's the next pitch on the way. It's taken for a strike on the Adderall. Count goes to 0-1. Still runner on at third base, an intimidating presence. The next pitch swung on and missed. Tying run just 90 feet away. 1-2 the count now. The next pitch on the way is a high pop-up in foul territory, but Bobson Dugnut not able to get to it. 1-2 keeps the count.
It's also a very interesting choice to make a left-handed hitter when versus lefty is available for anybody to acquire.
Well, it would be because he's a switch hitter, and that was not thought of.
Aha.
Now high drive to right, but it's hooking foul. So still a full count here against Van Hecken. As the next pitch taken for strike 3, another strikeout here as that'll bring Willie DePoo, and that's a pivotal out number 2. First pitch is a strike, because that eliminates the sacrifice fly or any kind of sacrifice. No, but now it may not matter. Deep drive, center field, and Willie DePoo has hit a 2-run shot to give the Fresno Flyers a 3-2 lead, and that was a moonshot.
added a little bit of a jump there after he finished rounding the bases.
Absolutely cracked that one, and in such a big series, that one found its way into the pool even. A shout out to the Arizona Diamondbacks on that one. As now that'll bring up Terry triples, but first we're going to have a new pitcher in Mixon.
Glenn Allen Mixon is taking the dish to replace Grewcock. You know, he was doing a great job at first. I was like, there's a lot of debate about control versus velocity, but I think in the latter half of his outing, it just kind of got away from him. Glenn Allen Mixon with a knuckle curve here.
So now 1-0 the count to the batter, making 2-0 to Terry Triples, who has 2 hits on the day. The next pitch on the way, knuckle curve taken for a strike, 2-1. We've seen a number of triples already in this game, as now we have another another bouncer that finds its way through the infield. Therefore, another base hit. That's his 3rd hit on the day. Hey, it makes it work for triples, as now that's going to bring a Watkins up to the dish, his first time up. So now 1-1 the count here for Watkins, as now make it 2-0. And he has a drive in left field. Willie Dustis is there, and he makes the grab, but the 2-run shot by Willie DePoo will make this one a very interesting game. 3 runs in the inning. Here as now it's 3-2 heading to the top of the 9th.
What a great rally from the Flyers there. A team that seemed to be kind of shying away from offensive capabilities to really open up.
And now we get to see the
3
closer.
runs.
We see the closer in in Bubba McCoy. So now the next pitch on the way, a ground ball in the infield as Diamond has originally the center field and throws over to Terry Triples. And time for the out. So an easy 4-3 ground out. As now for Tank Dagger, we're gonna see McScriff come in here for a new hitter. So first pitch on the way, a high fastball coming in at 80 miles an hour. Count goes to 0-1. Now swings and misses count. Now 0-2. Now gets that one another fastball. That one only coming in at 78. Not a ton of velocity. Normally you see high velocity from closers, but does not look like he needs it as he throws the warp ball for a strikeout. And now the Supremes are down to their final out. It may be here in Bob's and Dugnut. His first pitch, drop curve. 1-1. Now they got Dugnut over 3 on the day. 1-1. It's a drive into right center field. But right there is Watkins. He's there, and he makes the catch. And the Fresno Flyers take game 1 of this series. Here, a final score of 3-2 after a huge 8th inning. Here, scoring 3 runs, led off by the 2-run home run by Willie DePoo, the 3rd baseman.
Yeah, here we're seeing the replay, that home run here.
Now, this was an excellent game here, and it really did come down to the pitching here. The first 6-7 innings, we saw only 1 run, the home run by Sean Furcott, who we know isn't even going to be starting in game 2 here, but he gave basically the only offense here for the Supremes here until the 8th inning, where they were able to get a run in off of the triple by Dustis. But then it was all about the 8th inning here, where Skip Marlowe led things off. Courtney Trask led off with an infield single here, followed by Marlowe with a triple, driving him in, and then Willie DePoo, an easy big home run here was exactly what they needed. Then, of course, we have McCoy to win the game at the end.
Yeah, that was a incredible game. I have to acknowledge my bias here and say that I expected a little more out of the team that I helped create. I was sorely missing the offensive capabilities. Obviously, there was a great ambush home run off of that first pitch, but I was really wishing for a little more. Defensively, they held it down great until the 8th inning.
Yeah, this was definitely a very interesting match. Like we were talking about here, it really came down to when the starting pitchers came out. Overall, we knew that when you have Super Stitch on the mound, it is always going to be a tough job to even get 1 run here, and that's why we were talking about with the Blank Supremes that they had a big advantage getting that run here off the home run. But it really just came down to the bullpen there. Could they hold it off here? And the Fresno Flyers would not be denied here, especially again. That 8th inning was absolutely massive You're sending, 7 batters to the plate, which is more than we've seen from any other inning from either team in this game. So it really came down to, was Grukok or Mixon the right play to go to in those innings? But regardless, that's just sometimes how it is here. I was surprised we saw multiple triples in this game here. Rainbow Beach Stadium is not known for its size. Here, it's probably one of the smaller stadiums out there.
It's a very pitcher-friendly stadium, to say the least. And, I'm not fully sure who took the loss for today. I don't know if it was Archideld or Grukok.
It would be...
Or even... Yeah. Like, at a certain... I can't even say wrong place, wrong time. Because sometimes when you come in as a reliever, you come in with the bases loaded. Someone gets a hit. And then you've got people coming, wrong place, wrong time. But, Grukok came in with nobody. So it was a bit disappointing to see. But
I need to amend myself here. It looks like it'll be Mixon that would be he came in at the 8th inning here to take over the inning, and that's when the 3 runs happened.
Yeah.
So I do apologize. That actually goes for GX.
It really was wrong place, wrong time. As the personal creator of Glenn Allen Mixon, I know he's capable of a lot more than that.
So with that, it's how it be on this sometimes here. But we saw a lot of good offense here late in the game here. Great pitching early on here, and I think great pitching is going to be a main theme that we're going to see going forward here throughout the next bit of this series here. If there's any one player that really stood out here, you could really go for either pitcher here. Personally, with that one, I want to go and highlight here Tyler Yates. Here, Yates had double-digit strikeouts here, gave up just 1 run, the homer to Shumpert caught. But other than that, you take a look at the board that he had here. He did not allow more than 4 batters to the plate in any inning. In any inning that he pitched through his 7 here, he allowed, in order, 3 batters, 4 batters, 3 batters, 4 batters, 4 batters, 3 batters, 3 batters. And that's including the one with the home run in the 5th inning. Like, he was setting people down left and right, had one of those ultra quality starts here. And when you can do that in as big of a series as this, that is true ice water in the veins. And that means it's going to be a very big challenge for the Supremes when you get to Game 4 of this World Series.
Yes, and we'll see both Archidell and Yates in the 5th game. And if we get to that...
Oh, excuse me, yeah, 5th game. My apologies, not 4th. I get math, I promise. But regardless.
I think between the 2 pitchers, really, both of them being based off of Super Sitch, I think Tyler Yates had a better build overall, at least from what we saw in this first game, because Archidell was kind of getting tired and near the end of the wits by the 6th, but I think Archidell held out until the 7th or the 8th before he was switched out. So seeing longer lasting pitching from Tyler Yates, I think, was a big part of what held the Supremes down, and his great control was definitely a huge factor in that.
Yeah, Daryl Archidell went 6 1/3 innings, where Tyler Yates went an even 7. So pretty similar overall. Just a couple outs.
We do have to talk about, though, Winnie the Pooh and his home run.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Won this game.
That was an absolute nuclear blast to dead center field, about 430, I think, on that. And in that clutch of a moment here, especially when you take a look here, that inning was already off to a huge start here for the Flyers with the leadoff base hit by Corky Trask here from the number 9 hitter. Here, leads off with a single. Then you have Skip Marlowe comes in with a clutch triple after that. And then, just to add a little bit more on for Winnie the Pooh here, 2 straight strikeouts there by Mixon. They was really able to settle down well. And when you get those 2 straight strikeouts with a runner on third, that can be demoralizing to an offense here, because all you need to bring that runner in and tie up the ball game is a sac fly. You can give a bunt if you wanted to. I'm not sure how well you're going to do it, but we go from there. So for him to hit that home run here, that was the true turning point of the game here. especially with Willie DePree. He was over 3 on the day with with a line out, a fly out, and a ground out. Didn't even hit the ball particularly hard all game.
And to add some context to Corky Trask is probably the 6th best hitter on the lineup. He has the highest contact in the lineup, but it's for these opportunities where if you have the 9-hole hitter being better than, what you would normally be, you can just start these rallies, anytime.
And that's what's beautiful to see from him. Especially, I'm a big fan of going the 9-1-2 strategy whenever you're building a lineup. Here, so then you are always ready to go at any point during the lineup overall, putting your worst hitter usually at number 8 here. But I mean, with all of these hitters, all of these players are strong. All of these hitters are good. So trying to make a lineup here where you have that kind of versatility is honestly a hard task here for the captains here, or in this case, a hard task. With that being said here, a lot going on here now as we move into game 2 here in a bit. The pitching matchup here, Victor Karpov versus Joe Random II. Here, going to be an interesting time here. Thank you so much for tuning in for Game 1. We'll see you here on Game 2.
Until next time.
Bye. See ya.